Hi everyone, so as you could see in the title, today we will finally try to unpack the KTP rule, otherwise known as consonant gradation in Finnish. So what this rule refers to is that in certain situations, the word, the stem of the word, actually changes when conjugating. And this results in a lot of confusion, and it's actually a little bit tricky. So we're just gonna go over the very basics of this today, just the very surface level idea of KTP. So this will be part one, and then we will go over it in a bit more depth in later videos. So the KTP rule affects nouns, adjectives, and verbs. So you'll find this KTP consonant gradation happening in all of these categories. This video will focus on nouns because the verbs, it's easier to cover them in the verb type video. So this video will focus on nouns. Keep that in mind. So first of all, let's address why on earth does Finnish even have this consonant gradation mess? So from what I could find historically, it was done to ease the pronunciation and the flow of the words when they were being conjugated. And although I think the official name for this is consonant gradation, it's often called the KTP rule just because the rule affects mostly the letters K, T, and P. So of course it's easier to remember if you remember it as the KTP rule because you're like, KTP rule. It affects K, T, and P's. So I think you guys will get a better understanding of what this actually is once we go through some examples. But first, so this is actually really exciting. If your New Year's resolution and the goal for this new year is to master the Finnish language and the grammar that Finnish has, because it's quite complicated, now is your chance to win 1 free year of Italki lessons where you can practice one-to-one with native Finnish speakers. So Italki has a campaign going on, and you can find this on their homepage on the banner at the top. And when we click on this, we can use Italki to set our Finnish language goals for the upcoming year. So I'll just go ahead and set my own New Year's resolution goals together with you just to show you how it's done. All right, so let's set our New Year resolution 2022 goals. I want to study. They don't have Finnish right here on the homepage, but let's just scroll on right down to Finnish. Right here, click on it. Okay, my current Finnish level is, so we want to set our current level. Let's say I am level, I guess our target level has to be higher. So let's put this to our target level. We want to be, okay, this is, again, this is just for me, so yours can of course be different. So I want to really reach level 6, and let's say I'm at level 5 right now. Then we move on to the next category, which is I want to learn Finnish so I can. What are your reasons for learning Finnish? So for me, I want to have fun. That's what I want to do. And I also want to talk with native speakers. And I also want to understand TV shows and movies. Okay. Then we scroll down and it says here, we're going to set how many hours we want to spend every week studying Finnish. So I'm going to say I'm quite a busy person, so I only have 1 to 3 hours of time to spend. So then I'm going to set my resolution. And we get this little plaque here. In 2022, I want to learn Finnish 3 hours every week. And here we have a 3-month forecast to get to our level 6 level. Okay, so once you complete these steps, you actually can scroll on down and you can get some recommendations. Okay, and what I want you to highlight is their campaign right now. So if you take a lesson on Italki before the end of this month, they have a bunch of prizes that they're dishing out to you guys. So make sure to go to Italki's webpage right now and you can set your goals for the year and have a chance to win a bunch of cool prizes that will help you afford to take even more lessons with some teachers that they have on the platform. All right, so now that we've set our goals for the upcoming year, I would like to move our focus back to KTP. If you have a Finnish textbook, you'll probably have seen a chart similar to this one that I'm showing on the screen now. We're going to be focusing on the 3 most common changes within the KTP rule. So before we look at the changes themselves, we need to first understand what is the difference between the so-called strong, sometimes known as strong grade, and the weak, or also known as the weak grade. So strong is normally referred to double letters within the word. So for example, 2 Ks, 2 Ps, or 2 Ts, whereas weak is normally referred to as single letters in the word. So only 1 K, only 1 P, or only 1 T. That's just simply what strong and weak means. All right, so do we understand that concept now? So strong means double letters, KK, TT, PP. Weak means single letter, KTP. Okay, so we're going to focus on what happens when we have a word that in its basic form has a strong grade. So a noun, I'm talking about a noun. The underlying rule for this, if you have a noun, B, it is so-called strong grade, so it has a double K, a double P, or a double T in its basic form. When we start conjugating this noun to fit various case endings, the word will, the stem will have to change. Okay, and this is due historically, at its root, it's due to ease of pronunciation. So let's take an example and make things a bit more clear. So let's start with the double K. So for example, kukka. Kukka. Kukka means flower. It is a noun, and it has a strong, so-called strong grade because it has a double K in its basic noun stem of the word. Okay, so what do we do when we start conjugating the noun kukka? We have to change the word itself. So before you add the case endings to the end, you have to first make it a so-called weak grade. Basically, all that mumbo jumbo, what that means is you just have to drop 1 K from the word. So kukka turns into kuka, I guess. Kukka would turn into kukat. Okay? Kukka would turn into kukat. So the KTP rule just states that because the noun kukka, flower, has a strong grade, it has 2 Ks in it, when we're conjugating it to fit the T ending here, we need to drop one of the Ks so the pronunciation isn't as chunky. Because kukat is chunky to say, it's a bit difficult, and therefore when Finnish evolved, we've evolved to just drop one of the Ks to make it easier to say. So kukka turns to kukat. And this goes the same way to all sorts of case endings. So kukka would turn into kukat, it could turn into kukan, it could turn into kukassa, kukasta, kukalle, kukalla, kukalta. You don't have to worry about all of the meanings for all these different case endings. Let's take another example. So the name, Finnish man's name, Pekka, quite common, Pekka. It's a noun, and it has a double K in the word itself. Pekka, Pekka. Okay, so that makes it a strong word. Pekka is strong. So therefore, when we're conjugating Pekka to fit the various case endings, we need to drop a K. That's why Pekka would turn into Pekat, Pekan, Pekassa, Pekasta, Pekalle, Pekalla, Pekalta. All only use 1 K when we're conjugating. And yes, this happens to people's names as well. You can conjugate people's names and even though, you know, his official name is Pekka with 2 Ks. Yes, in Finnish, when we're conjugating the name itself, you also would drop one of the Ks. Funny, but that's how it goes. Okay, let's take another example. So, rekka, which means truck. Rekka, rekka, truck. It's a noun with a double K in it. Therefore, when we start conjugating this word, we need to drop one of the Ks. So it becomes rekot, rekon, rekossa, sakosta, sakolle, sakolla, sakolta, for example. So yeah, so that's simply how the double K one works. Let's move on to double P, KTP. Am I going in a wrong order? Oh well, I guess it doesn't matter what order we go in. So one word example is huppu, which means like a hood on a jacket or a sweater. Huppu, hood. Huppu. It's a noun with a double P in it, which makes it a strong word. Therefore, when we're conjugating, we need to drop a P. So huppu becomes huput. Huput. Huppu, huput. Same when you're doing the rest of the conjugations like hupun, hupussa, hupusta, hupulle, hupulla, hupulta. All have one P. Then again, if you're going back to the basic word, you would add the P again and just say huppu, huppu. So now we've gone over the double Ps. We'll move on to the double Ts next. So the first example is matto, which means rug. Matto, matto. Okay? A noun with 2 T's in it makes it strong. So when we're conjugating, we need to drop one of the T's. So matto becomes matot, maton, matossa, matosta, matolle, matolla, matolta, and so on. Matto, matot. Okay? Rug. Then another example is tytte, a common word. Tytte means girl. Tytte, tytte. Noun with a double T in it makes it strong. So when we conjugate, we need to drop a T. Tytte, tytöt, tytön, tytössä, tytöstä, tytille, and so on. So tytte becomes tytön. 1 T. Alright, so that kind of concludes this first section of my KTP rules. Unfortunately, there is more to it than this, but this is just one of the basic levels for the KTP rule. Please practice this first. I think it's good to kind of master this in steps. So once you feel comfortable with these parts that I explained in this video, we can move on to part 2. And understanding this will also help with case videos that I suppose I'll make in the future once I get brave enough to do so. So stay tuned for that, and I guess that just about concludes this video. So till next time, moikka!